Online communication, emails, texts, Teams, Slack, Messenger, they have all become a staple of modern communication. We're talking less and texting more. Nowadays, more than 1.5 trillion messages are sent every single day. It's a lot. It might even be too many messages. How many times have you texted in an inappropriate place? Yeah, messages can be a bit distracting. So let's talk about how fast you should answer, how to deal with the massive amount of messages you're getting, and boost your productivity while we're at it. Fortunately, dealing with your messages is technically easy. You turn off your notifications, turn on your Do Not Disturb mode, and simply answer your messages when it's convenient to you and not when they arrive. But that's easier said than done. What if people get upset? What if you miss something? What if it's something urgent? That's why we're taking a look at email, work messages, and personal messages, and I'm sharing a way for you to deal with all of those. Actually, several ways. I'm sharing a whole system with you, it's gonna be awesome. Let's start with email. Email used to be simple. You send an email, wait for a couple of days, and you get a response. Now it's not that simple. Email is designed as an asynchronous medium, and if used as intended, it should take you about a business day to reply. Anywhere between 6 and 8 hours should be fine in most situations. But, what should happen and what does happen are two completely different things. In reality, the average email response time is between 1 and 2 hours. That's not a long time. By having to check your email this often and by having to reply in just an hour, most people end up checking their email way more often than that. They're not missing any emails. None. But if you constantly do context switching, the quality of your work suffers. So how to deal with that? The most productive option, and the one we're focusing on, is to check your emails on a schedule. This works by creating dedicated email time slots in your calendar. You make one or several of those and you make them repeat every single day. Then you simply open your email during those slots. And the majority, if not all, of your reading and writing emails should happen in those specific slots. Now, before you open up your calendar and block every minute of it with email checking slots, let's look at the building blocks that make a good email schedule. The first building block we care about is urgency. Let's start with the outlier. No matter what you do, and I mean really, you can't do anything about it, believe me, I've tried, people will use email for urgent matters.
Subject: fire. Dear Sir stroke Madam, I'm writing to inform you of a fire which has broken out at the premises of... No, that's too formal.
The problem is fitting urgent messages and scheduled time together doesn't work. So, we're not doing that. Fortunately, most urgent email messages are preceded by a text or a call. You can and should plan for those as any regular event. For when that is not the case, you should set up an email filter. This email filter should catch only urgent emails and notify you about them and nothing else. While making the filter, just make sure you include a couple of words that indicate urgency or the people in your life that might have urgent requests. The second factor of building a good email schedule is your role. What is your role? And depending on your role, you're going to adjust the duration of your email slots. First, if your role is focused on people, like leadership or support or sales, don't block time in your calendar for checking emails. Those slots will be so huge that they won't make any sense. Instead, block time in your calendar for not checking emails and doing your other work. If your role is not focused on people, base the duration of your email slots on how long you typically need to read and reply to all of your emails. And for most people, 10 minutes is a good start. Don't worry about the initial number too much, because you can always change it later. The third factor of building a good email schedule is your company's culture. Depending on your company's culture and how much it uses email, your colleagues will have different implicit expectations towards you. You should take your time and find out what those implicit expectations are. Then, base the frequency of your email checking slots on your findings. If you're confused about 3 per day, should be a reasonable start. And yeah, change the number later if it doesn't work for you. Finally, the last and most important factor in you building a good email schedule is your communication. What you communicate with people and what people expect from you can have a massive impact on how much autonomy you have over your day. By communicating carefully, you can change people's expectations and take control over how you can spend your days. After you create your schedule, start preparing your colleagues for when you're going to read your email. because they will not be used to it. And they will not really remember you saying so just that one time. But if you invest the time and prepare your colleagues and prepare their expectations, you can slowly but steadily reduce the amount of email checking slots you have per day and reduce their duration. Just be prepared, you will need to repeat yourselves a bunch of times. People will need help adjusting to your way of doing things, so give them that help. You need to find a good balance between reading email and getting other work done. And that is hard. It will take a couple of tries. Even this explanation is hard. And if you're still confused, 3 email checking slots for 10 minutes every single day should be enough to do the trick for most roles. Just remember, the better your email habits are, the more your productivity would increase. Rinse and repeat, and you will reach a great schedule that fits you and your role and your company. Oh, and before we get to work messages, if this video is helping you out, a like will help me tremendously. So yeah, press like and tell me what you think. You can use the comments or join my Discord. Anyway, let's get back to the good stuff. Work messages. Instant messengers, the work ones, Slack, Teams, or if you really hate nice things, Jabber. It sounds cool, but it's not. It sucks. The problem with them is clear from the name. They're instant, and thus they require you to answer your messages immediately. In fact, most companies expect you to answer your instant messages in 15 to 20 minutes. More than that might even be considered rude. But therein lies the problem. It is not possible to focus for 15 to 20 minutes. If you really answer in that time, you'll have a very hard time doing any work that requires your full attention. So let's cover a few approaches that can let you answer your messages, get meaningful work done, and not offend your colleagues. First approach to productive work messages. Talk to people and teach them what to expect of you. Maybe you don't want to look at messages in the morning, or you do administrative work on Fridays. Whatever the case, get people to know and expect how you're going to handle a message during your off hours. Of course, be patient and take your time. You cannot say it once and expect everyone to instantly remember. It doesn't work that way. Believe me, I have tried. Just rinse and repeat until everyone else is used to your routine. Second approach for productive work messages. Master your tools. They can help solve the problem for you. Automatically use your status messages. Make sure Slack or Teams show up when you're in a meeting. Use the out of office flag and auto replies in Outlook to notify people that you're not in front of a computer. And don't forget the first approach. Make sure you communicate all of that with your colleagues. Third approach for productive work messages. Focus time. Time dedicated to focusing on tough problems. I love that one. That's my favorite one by far. Focus time again builds on top of the previous 2 approaches. But first, how it works. Find a long empty spot in your calendar, block it, set your status as away during that slot, and get rid of your phone. The idea is very simple. You make sure that no one can reach you in that time, and then you do focused work. After your focus time session ends, do check your messages, and then take the time to explain how your focus time works and why should people respect it to anyone who happened to write you during your work. Fourth approach for productive work messages. Schedule time for checking your work messages. Yeah, that reminds me of email too. It's the exact same thing. You schedule several slots in your day in which you should check your messages. And I get it, communication is vital on this one and it cannot be applied in every role, but for some roles it can give you the clarity of mind to do very focused work and make very few mistakes. In some roles this can save lives. Work messages have the same limitation as email. Your role might stop you from doing some of the things we explored. But spend some time thinking, and using this video you will find an elegant solution. Or just ping me on Discord and I'll help. Finally, we get to personal messages. Discord, Messenger, Telegram, you name it. You can catch up with friends and family using so many different channels. It's awesome, but it's extremely distracting as well. And there is one rule you should follow to deal with those distractions. People can message you at any given time. And if you answer when you didn't intend to, it is not their fault. It is up to you to control your attention better. So how do you control your attention? This one is way too massive for this already long video, so we'll focus on just one thing that will help you deal with your messages. Turn off your notifications. I mean it. turn them off. Anything that steals your attention is a no-go when you want to focus, so don't let your phone do that. And of course, check your phone after you finish work or during your breaks. We're not monsters. The cool thing is that if you stop using your phone all the time, you'll not only focus better, but it will make using your phone that much more rewarding and your breaks that much better. Now, with personal messages, the hard part is not looking at them. The hard part is the FOMO, fear of missing out. Sounds epic and powerful, and it is pretty powerful. It can get you to do a lot of stuff. But the cool thing about messages is that the fear of missing out is often misplaced. Let's go over a few situations and you get what I'm talking about. Not look at my messages, but what if I miss something important? You won't. Even if there is something super important requiring your attention, people will just call you. And the do not disturb mode of your phone, you'll let them through if they call several times. Of course, if you're expecting a delivery or a call, or you have a close one like your kid that can hurt themselves, then of course don't turn off your sound. Accept that you will not be as focused and move on. It is better than risking or stressing about it. Not look at my messages, but what if I'm in the middle of an important text discussion? An important text discussion? I would think twice if the discussion is really that important. If it is, then do your focused work later. Focus on the discussion instead. Maybe even have a phone call to speed things up. If it's not, hit pause, excuse yourself, and get back to work. Keep focusing. You can do it and it's gonna be awesome. I don't know what you're doing, but it's gonna be awesome. I promise. Not checking my messages? But what if I'm texting my crush? I get it. It's exciting, but consider stopping your flirting for a bit. And for a good reason. Being a busy, competent person is attractive, and stopping the stream of updates will make the discussion all that more interesting. Give it a shot, you might like it, whether you're focusing or not. Anyhow, you get the gist. Very few situations in life are that important that they make sense of you looking at your phone every 3 seconds. If you're in one of those, by all means, obsess about your phone, look at it constantly. Just do it deliberately and don't pretend you're focusing on something else. Dealing with messages is hard. Not answer and you'll be rude and you'll disconnect from the world. Answer immediately and you'll have a hard time focusing or achieving anything. Use the advice from this video to find the best way for you to deal with your messages and stay awesome.
Subscribe to Jordan and stay awesome.